recording.
My name is Jacob Marx Rice, and I wrote ROSENSTRASSE A Narrative Protest, which goes up November 15th and 17th at DCTV. No idea. ROSENSTRASSE A Narrative Protest is a play, more or less, about the Rosenstrasse protests, which were a series of basically a week of protests in 1943 in Nazi Germany, the only open protest of the Nazi government in the war years. And they were enacted by a group of German Aryan women who were married to Jewish husbands who were taken to be sent to Auschwitz. And these women decided that they were not willing to put up with the abuse anymore, and they staged a protest against the government to get their husbands back. So I was going to a lot of protests. I think a lot of people at the time were going to a lot of protests. And I was actually at a Black Lives Matter protest, and I was really thinking about these questions of allyship and sort of what we as a society owe to those who have been disempowered by the power structures that we have built. And I was thinking about wanting to write a play about this and really explore this idea. And then the same day, I was doing research on Nazi Germany, because that's what I do with my afternoons. And I ran into this story I had never heard before, about this group of Aryan women who had used their own power and their own privilege to try and protect their Jewish husbands from the Nazi war machine, essentially. And it was just this moment of kismet of, I had wanted to write a play about a story like this, and suddenly a story appeared. When I started writing this story, it began as a very naturalistic play, and I quickly realized that that was not the way to honor this story and the women who made this happen. And I began to explore other ways and other theatrical means, and eventually I found a sort of hybrid that is sort of exists between a play and a more traditional protest art form. That hopefully creates the feeling of really being in this situation and allows people to experience what they might feel like in this situation and what they might do. This is a play about some really serious issues and some really scary issues, and it has a lot of fun, it has a lot of heart, but it also really engages with these issues, and the audience is not removed by a proscenium. They are not protected by anonymity in the same way that they are in normal theater. There's a much more active engagement that's really exciting and also, I think, important to be ready for. I think the most exciting experience of working on this play is actually coming up, which is the moment that people walk into that space and we get the opportunity to work with an actual audience and to create this thing together. This play does not exist without an audience, but until the audience shows up, this thing is nothing. And once they do, I think it's going to be really, really explosive.